The Land Rover Defender. I'm talking the OG Defender, the L316 off-road capable brute that ran from 1983 to 2016. Most know it as the Defender 90 or the Defender 110, depending on which wheelbase you had. This was a Land Rover that wasn't the urban crawler. This one carried its heritage straight from the 2000s with its roots. Well, that all went away when production ceased in 2016 after 33 years in production. 67 years if you consider the Defender was based off its original 1949 counterparts. The new Defender came along, and stylistically it carried that same look of the original, but with a monocoque chassis. While still very capable off-road, it is basically a glorified urban crawler. Officially, the body-on-frame off-roader was dead. Then, along comes Sir John Radcliffe, chairman of the multinational chemical company Ineos, or Inspec Ethylene Oxide. He decided that he wanted to continue building the original with the tooling from Jaguar Land Rover, but the firm basically told him to go pound sand, so he set off to build his own version of the vehicle and called it the Ineos Grenadier. Not to be confused with the Ineos Grenadier cycling team. The name Grenadier comes from Radcliffe's favorite pub in Belgravia, London, where the vehicle came to fruition. The Grenadier comes in several flavors depending on what you want in an all-purpose off-roader. You can get either the 2-seat utility wagon, the Trial Master, or the Field Master, as well as the Quartermaster pickup truck. Our detailed review today will cover the Field Master station wagon variant, and our example is built in the Hambach, France facility, or the old Smartville location, which was used to build smart cars until the facility was sold to Ineos, and now is a production facility for the Grenadier vehicles. Ours was built in November of 2023.
Hey everyone, in today's latest installment of the in-depth review series, we have a real treat today. What we have today is the 2024 Ineos Grenadier Fieldmaster. Now, I have never actually reviewed one of these before, so this is the first time for me. It took me about 30 minutes just to get familiar with this vehicle. This is a long wheelbase version, and as you can see, it is a very much purpose-built off-road vehicle. It looks like the cross between a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon and the Land Rover Defender 90. And this vehicle is painted in the metallic silver, and it features the black leatherette interior. I don't think it's real leather. We'll take a look inside, of course, though. Today's review is going to be a full in-depth review. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior, off-road capabilities, powertrain, fuel economy, and everything else in between. And I do have full pricing on screen. It is the when new pricing when this vehicle is brand new, and a list of options in the description box below. There is about $13,000 worth of options. So we're going to go ahead and get into the review.
Of course, the Grenadier is four-wheel drive and features a Tremec T18386 2-speed full-time four-wheel drive transfer case with a 2.5-to-1 low range gear, front center rear differential locks, and a 53.81-to-1 crawl ratio. Gears are selected via a stubby little console-mounted lever with a 4 high lock, 4 low, and 4 low lock positions. Diff locks are controlled via the headliner-mounted push buttons and proved somewhat cumbersome to operate, as they require a specific transmission transfer case position to lock in place. Nevertheless, the Grenadier is quite capable off-road. We have ground clearance of 10.4 inches with an approach angle of 36.2 degrees, departure angle of 36.1 degrees, and a ramp breakover angle of 28.2 degrees, with an impressive gradability angle of 45 degrees and deep water fording depth of 31.5 inches. These are quite impressive figures to say the least. Power comes from a quite competent BMW Source B58 Series 3-liter turbocharged and intercooled dual overhead cam 24-valve inline 6-cylinder engine. This engine is of cast aluminum block and head construction with a single twin-scroll turbo with air-to-liquid intercooler and features the Valvetronic variable valve timing and BMW's double Vanos system. Fuel delivery is from the Bosch Motronic direct injection and features 11.0-to-1 compression ratio. The engine creates 282 horsepower at 4,750 RPM and 332 pound-feet of torque at 1,750 RPM. The Grenadier can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.8 seconds and supports a 99 mile per hour top speed. With its gross vehicle weight rating of 7,716 pounds, it can tow a maximum trailer weight, according to the brochure, of 7,716 pounds and haul a maximum payload of 1,889 pounds. The Grenadier comes equipped with a 23.7 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 6.7 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 355 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 50 miles per gallon all around. The sole available transmission is BMW's electronically controlled 8-speed ZF8 HP51 automatic, and it features manual shift capabilities.
As we walk along the rear, now we're going to go cover the rear in depth, but take a look at this. It is a double door design back here. We're going to cover this later into the video. But as you can see, you do have the upright ladder, you have LED taillights, huge spare tire. You've also got rear recovery hooks, bash plates, all that kind of stuff. Everything you need for an off-road adventure. All right, around the back of the Grenadier, wow, it's a massive, massive vehicle. Extremely tall. This is my first time experiencing one of these, and I cannot believe how tall this is. But it has a really cool upright appearance. It looks very much like a Defender 90 Land Rover. One thing I do like is these overhead assist rails here, and it looks like a detachable hardtop, but that hardtop actually does not come off. Those assist rails run the entire way up there. It'd be really cool if those were actually like those windows that the Land Rovers have. That'd be really cool, like the Safari windows. But you have these really huge gutters here, and that really does help with water drip. You have the built-in Hambach logo back here. You have these really cool rails right there. Nice solid feeling door handles. Textured black plastic fender flares. LED lighting in the rear. And of course you also have your LED lighting back here as well. It's all red back here. Red turn indicators, hazard flashers, the red LED circular tail lamps, and then of course this right here would probably be your reverse lights. And of course it does have the ultrasonic reverse sensors. Tow recovery hooks down here, bash plates down below, license plate. You've also got this huge ladder here. You can climb up to the roof. It says do not exceed load limit on the decal here, but it's a pretty sturdy ladder. Massive rear spare tire with the Grenadier cover in place. Looks like a cross between the G-Wagon and the Defender 90, really. All right, as we walk along the profile, you will get an idea of how immense this vehicle is. It is absolutely enormous. I do have the on-screen, or the dimensions on screen below. And man, this thing is huge. This is a long wheelbase, so I imagine they make it in a shorter wheelbase. Truth be told, I don't know a whole lot about these vehicles, so a ton of research is going to go into this for the review. But overall, it's just very, very cool. I love the opportunity to be able to review this vehicle and take a look at it.
Steering on the Grenadier is hydraulic power assisted rack and pinion with 3.3 turns lock to lock and a 44.3 foot turning radius. Wheels are the optional 18 by 8 inch, 12 spoke graphite painted alloys and are shot on LT 255/70 R18 BF Goodrich all-terrain TA KO2 Baja Champion all-terrain tires as part of the Rough Pack option package. Brakes are power assisted 4-wheel Brembo disc brakes with ABS, traction control, electronic stability control, downhill assist control, and feature 12.4 inch ventilated rotors with 2 piston calipers up front and 12 inch solid rotors with single piston calipers in the rear.
Alrighty, now we're walking along the front. Just like we did in the rear, we're going to cover the front in depth, but take a look at it. It's very aggressive, very menacing. It is very purpose-built, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you buy one of these, but it's just super cool. Alrighty, looking around the front of the Grenadier, as you can see, it's a very tough, upright vehicle. As stated in the rear, it does look like it has a cross between a G-Wagon and a Land Rover Defender. But this is a very purpose-built vehicle. It is built specifically for off-roading. As you can see by the upright glass, the overhead assist handles there, all of the rub strips, these really cool upright mounted side view mirrors. I do like this touch here. The twin flags there, LED side repeaters, extractors, very upright glass and hood. Has the powered by BMW logo down there. That hood actually goes into the center of the vehicle. And as you can see here, we do have the LED headlamps. This also is amber for the turn indicator, but also turns white for your driving lights. More air intakes there. Ultrasonic parking sensors. It's a very loud fan as well. It's also hot today. You got your inset driving lights. The Ineos badge there. Another cool feature. Grenadier is actually emblazoned into the embossed into the hood, and you have the Grenadier Fieldmaster logo there. Just a really cool vehicle. All right, now before we get inside, let's take a quick look at the key. It is a black plastic key. Has this textured border on the middle part of it, and it looks kind of like a strap or a band, and it does end in the Grenadier name there, but it has that textured look to it, and it ends here in this logo here, the Ineos logo. That is your panic button, lock and unlock. It is a switchblade key, laser cut, very basic. To the best of my knowledge, this vehicle does not have smart key access. It just uses the keyless remote entry. Let's go ahead and open the door and take a look inside, and inside is super cool. Nice positive feel of the doors first and foremost. Just a really nice thunk. And of course you do have traditional exterior mounted hinges, just like you would find in like a Bronco or a Jeep Wrangler or anything like that. And opening the door reveals a stunning interior, very driver focused. Although it is very utilitarian, it's also very comfortable, I found. We're going to cover everything, especially that up there. Very cool. Let's take a quick look at the door panels though. Not much in the way of gadgetry here. So what we have here is basically a vinyl padded upper sill, gloss piano black trim, satin silver plastic door pulls, power locks, power mirrors, and your power window switches all on the doors. So I don't think the doors are removable. And by the looks of the hardware, I don't think they are. You do have this nice contrast stitching going down the armrest, and that vinyl continues in this inset for the door pull. Everything else, however, is plastic. This vehicle doesn't even have carpeting. It has this gray textured plastic. Got some storage here, your door speakers, of course. Taking a look at the instrument panel, here you have your defroster, positional air vents right here, this textured matte black plastic. This is actually hard plastic, but it does have the look and feel of vinyl. Nice little tray up here. It's a textured matte. We do have a leather wrap tilt and telescoping steering wheel. That piano black trim continues here, and then down here we just have this textured gray plastic. Now in the footwell you do have your hood release here, and of course just a brake and accelerator pedal. It's a very narrow footwell. You do have a dead pedal. You do have carpeted floor mats, but the rest of the floors are just a textured black plastic. I imagine this vehicle is very easy to clean out. You could probably even hose it out. Now we do not have power seats, we just have manual seats. This is your fore and aft adjust here. This is your height adjust here. And this is your seat back recline here. Alright, let's take a look at the seats now. The seats are built by Recaro. They are very comfortable and very supportive. While they do not have power adjust or anything like that, they do make up for seat comfort and stability. Like the bolsters are really nice and firm, so they do hold you in place, especially if you're off-roading. You're not wiggling around too much. They do have contrast stitching, and they are heated. And of course, up front at the top, we do have these flip-up sun visors, or sun panels, or sunroofs. And they do have detachable shades as well. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the interior. Alright, now that we're inside, let's pan through the interior. We're going to show more details, and there is a lot to show in here. Very cool two-spoke steering wheel. I almost thought it looked like it was lifted out of a Smart, but it's not, obviously. It is leather wrapped. It does have these really cool perforated insets The 12 o'clock position band up here, really cool. It's titanium with the red stripe, but it's all leather wrapped here. And you have your horn pad and airbag cover here. And then you have multifunction controls. So over here, you do have your voice command, phone controls, cruise controls. No automatic cruise control or anything like that, just standard cruise. And over here, we do have audio controls and menu select and a red toot button. And you press that, and it actually activates like a pedestrian or cycle horn. Just a very gentle toot of the horn. It's not as overt and abrupt as the standard city horn. Multifunction controls over here control our automatic headlamps, our turn indicators, and our high beams and flash to pass. And over on the right hand side, we have our wiper washer controls. Alright, taking a look at the instrument panel. This is what you get. Not really. This is just a band of warning lights here. That's all you have in front of you is all warning lights. We'll go over the instrument cluster here in just a second. Pan over the top of the dash, there is a aforementioned storage mat there. It's a grippy texture, and it's a nice flat dash. And it goes across the entire width of the vehicle in the same plane. And coming down, we do have a touchscreen display here. It serves dual purpose, so on this portion here, you do have just your instrument cluster. So speedometer's up here. Our TAC is right here in this bar graph. Our gear position with our transfer case selection there. And this is the seatbelt warning. But when you buckle the seatbelt, you actually gain a couple more gauges. You get your fuel gauge and your coolant temperature gauge, odometer here, and your distance to empty. Now, everything over here is touchscreen. From home and off-road, all that kind of stuff is actually touchscreen. But you can also operate it with the central dash mounted switch. You have options, menu, back, audio, favorites, and off-road. But we'll go ahead and control it from the touchscreen here. Attitude is basically just all your off-road menus. You have your inclinometers, your altitude, G-forces, pitch roll, and steering angle. Moving down, we have our tire temperature and pressure, gearbox temperature, and transfer case temperature. And then we have our pathfinder, so follow path, record path, and road book. Here is our statistics and our charging for the electrical system. Now home, you can set like settings for your favorites, all that kind of stuff. Phone, you can set your Bluetooth phone controls there. Audio controls for the radio. Your device for Bluetooth. And of course settings for all the different settings and everything like that. And then we'll just go back to that view there. You can also place the vehicle in reverse, and it does just feature a simple reverse camera. It does have active guidance lines, and of course it also has your front and rear parking sensor ultrasonic display. But other than that, we don't really have anything as far as 360-degree cameras or anything like that. All right, moving down, we have two large air vents. They're positional for the front passengers, and in the center we have this compass, and I think it's calibrated right now, but yeah. So the wheel here turns and it points to where your directions are, and then of course you have your readouts in the middle. Now moving down, this is where it kind of gives an aircraft feel to it. You've got all these really mechanical buttons with these Allen bolts here. This satin silver finish, it just looks very aircrafty in here. Very, very cool. So at the top we have climate controls. We have our driver and passenger seat heaters. This is your fan speed control here. This is our temperature control, and it does have automatic temperature control. This is our zones, or our panel distribution, and of course your seat heaters. Now down here, we do have the window demist, so front and rear window defoggers basically. And I'm not really sure why there's a red and a green, but anyway. Then we have these little safety hoops here, and this barred area, that's your hazard flashers. And part of the climate control here is air conditioner and recirculate. And down here, we have auto start stop, our audio control, so volume and mute. And over here is our park assist. We can turn off and on our parking sensors. All right, let's take a look at the console now. We have a proper handbrake, has a nice solid feel to it. textured mat back here, a BMW style, probably lifted out of a BMW, gear shift lever, our transfer case selector, and then of course our multimedia selector here. Exact same controls as for the touchscreen. And then we have our cup holders. We've also got a really nice padded center armrest that's lockable and it opens up to reveal a significant amount of storage. You've also got USB ports and a 12-volt power point inside. Alright, so that's the interior overview. We're going to cover some more here in just a second. But as you can see, it's just a very cool place to be. It is quite comfortable. Very quiet. It's just really nice. So our sun visors. We have our transmission, axle, differential locks, and all that kind of stuff. Instructions on the driver's side sun visor. And of course all the sort of warning light or warning labels. And taking a look at the overhead console. It looks like we're inside a 747 or something like that. But we're going to cover everything because everything's pretty simple. Overhead, the front panel portion is all lighting. So we have our overhead reading lights. And then we have our interior lights. So you can turn on and off your overhead lighting, and you can do automatic when the doors open and close, that kind of thing. You've also got your passenger side airbag indicator. Now here is our off-road section. So we have off-road assistance, so stability control, and then downhill assist. Over here we have our exterior lighting controls. This is our level and our auxiliary lighting. And then over here is our off-road. So we have our front and rear axle lockers. And we have this little diagram for height and width. Then we have off-road mode. So we have the off-road and the waiting. The Grenadier panel here. And then we have these numerous amounts of auxiliary switches. So this one is from the battery power. This is a 10 amp fuse. All these here are 10 amps, exterior and 2 interior. And then we have a 25 amp, a 25 amp, and a 25 amp for exterior. And then a 500 amp for the exterior. All of them have these little safety hoops, and it's just really cool. It looks really cool. Taking a look at the sun visor. The sun visor swings down, but there's no vanity mirror or anything like that. It does swing out, but it does not slide. So that's what you get. And then of course you have a assist handle and non-height adjustable seat belts. And to open the panels, you just go like this. It's kind of like an old school sunroof. Alrighty, now let's take a look at the rear seat. Now this vehicle only has 2 rows of seating. And the rear seat does seat 3 across. It is a 60-40 split folding seat with height adjustable head restraints on all passenger seating areas. And of course 3-point belts. Take a quick look at the door panels real quick. Just like the front, they are styled in the exact same way with the same materials. Soft vinyl, piano black trim, more soft vinyl here. Contrast stitching, power windows, satin silver door pulls, and textured matte gray plastic, black door speakers. No carpet back here, but we do have the floor mats, the carpeted floor mats. We've also got tie-down hooks here. And let's take a quick look at the seats. The seats are very comfortable. As stated before, they are a 60-40 split folding seats. They're built by Recaro. There is no fold-down center armrest back here. There's no cup holders back here. It's kind of a shame, but you do have overhead lighting, overhead coat hooks, accessory hooks, and no seat back mat pockets back here, but we do have positional air vents that you can turn the vents on and off. And then we have 2 USB ports back here, a type A and a type C USB charge port. Alright, to fold the seats is very easy. You're going to locate this tab up here and you can pull up and the whole seat back folds flat. Just like so. Does not offer even access to the rear load area, but it has a nice hard shell plastic and it does fold, so it does add to the configurability of the interior. The seat bottom cushion also folds out of the way, and we have to get the seatbelt buckle out of the way, and then we're just going to lift up just like so. And it has our fuses and all that kind of stuff underneath. Alrighty, last but not least, let's take a look at the luggage area. Now, as stated before, it is a two-piece rear door. So we're going to open up the left-hand side first. It is the smallest portion of it, but it's how you get in. And that's basically what it looks like when it's open. And then we're going to get into the main door, and by doing so, there is actually a lever right here. We're going to pull that, and it's going to open up that way. So there we have it. Both panels open. Take a look in here. You just got some storage there with the retention straps. And of course you can lock it into place. And here is the luggage area. Nice load flat floor. You do have some integral tie down hooks. No carpeting back here. This back here has the shades for the roof panels in the front. And of course you have the deep set glass, more tie down hooks, small little storage tray there. Over here we do have a 12 volt 10 amp power point. And then in here, taking this panel out and then taking this panel out, reveals your bottle jack. And I believe all the other tools are underneath the front passenger seat. To close the door, you're going to close the big door first, and then you're going to close the small door. Alrighty, and there you have it, the 2024 Ineos Grenadier Fieldmaster Long Wheelbase. We hope you found the review informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrensoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.